Then I arose and resumed my stormy denunciation. You have played your part well, you have led your unresisting victim to the sacrifice, but if I am compelled to plunge into the black grave, you shall go with me. I shrieked in desperation and suddenly threw my arms around the gentle adept, intending to hurl him into the chasm. At this point I felt my hands seized from behind in a cold, clammy, irresistible embrace. My fingers were loosened by a strong grip, and I turned to find myself confronted by a singular-looking being who quietly said, "You are not to be destroyed. We wish only to do your bidding." The speaker stood in a stooping position with his face towards the earth as if to shelter it from the sunshine. He was less than 5 feet in height. His arms and legs were bare, and his skin the color of light blue putty, glistening in the sunlight like the slimy hide of a water dog. He raised his head, and I shuddered in affright as I beheld that his face was not that of a human. His forehead extended in an unbroken plane from crown to cheekbone, and the chubby tip of an abortive nose without nostrils formed a short projection near the center of the level ridge which represented a countenance. There was no semblance of an eye, for there were no sockets, yet his voice was singularly perfect. His face, if face it could be called, was wet, and water dripped from all parts of his slippery person. Yet repulsive as I looked, I shuddered more at the remembrance of the touch of that cold, clammy hand than at the sight of his figure, for a dead man could not have chilled me as he had done with his sappy skin, from which the moisture seemed to ooze as from the hide of a water lizard. Turning to my guide, this freak of nature said softly, "I have come in obedience to the signal." I realized at once that alone with these two I was powerless, and that to resist would be suicidal. Instantly my effervescing passion subsided, and I expressed no further surprise at that sudden and remarkable apparition, but mentally acquiesced. I was alone and helpless. Rage gave place to inertia and the despondency that followed the realization of my hopeless condition. The grotesque newcomer who, though sightless, possessed a strange instinct, led us to the base of the hill a few hundred feet away, and there, gushing into the light from the rocky bluff, I saw a magnificent stream issuing many feet in width. This was the headwaters of the mysterious brook that I had previously noticed. It flowed from an archway in the solid stone, springing directly out of the rock-bound cliff. Beautiful and picturesque in its surroundings, the limpid water, clear and sparkling, issued from the unknown source that was typical of darkness, but the brook of crystal leaped into a world of sunshine, light, and freedom. "Brother," said my companion, "this spring emerging from this prison of earth images to us what humanity will be when the prisoning walls of ignorance that now enthrall him are removed. Man has heretofore relied chiefly for his advancement, both mental and physical, on knowledge gained from so-called scientific explorations and researches with matter, from material studies rather than spiritual, all his investigations having been confined to the crude, coarse substance of the surface of the globe. Spiritualistic investigations, unfortunately, are considered by scientific men too often as reaching backward only. The religions of the world clasp hands with and lean upon the dead past, it is true, but point to a living future. Man must yet search by the agency of senses and spirit the unfathomed mysteries that lie beneath his feet and over his head, and he who refuses to bow to the Creator and honor his handiwork discredits himself. When this work is accomplished, as yet it will be, the future man, able then to comprehend the problem of life in its broader significance, drawing from all directions the facts necessary to his mental advancement, will have reached a state in which he can enjoy bodily comfort and supreme spiritual perfection, while he is yet an earth-bound mortal. In hastening his consumption, it is necessary that an occasional human life should be lost to the world, but such sacrifices are noble, yes, sublime, because contributing to the future exaltation of our race. The secret workers in this sacred order of which you are still a member have ever taken an important part in furthering such a system of evolution. This feature of our work is unknown to brethren of the ordinary fraternity, and the individual research of each secret member is unguessed by the craft at large. Hence, it is that the open workers of our order, those initiated by degrees only, who in large rooms carry on their beneficent labor among men, have had no hand other than as agents in your removal, and no knowledge of your present or future movements. Their function is to keep together our organization on Earth, and from them only an occasional member is selected, as you have been, to perform special duties in certain adventurous studies. Are you willing to go on this journey of exploration? And are you brave enough to meet the trials you have invited? Again my enthusiasm arose, and I felt the thrill experienced by an investigator who stands on the brink of an important discovery and needs but courage to advance, and I answered, yes. Then farewell. This archway is the entrance that will admit you into your arcanum of usefulness. This mystic brother, though a stranger to you, has long been apprised of our coming, and it was he who sped me on my journey to seek you, and who has since been waiting for us, and is to be your guide during the first stages of your subterranean progress. He is a friend, and, if you trust him, will protect you from harm. You will find the necessaries of life supplied, for I have traversed part of your coming road. That part I therefore know, but, as I have said, you are to go deeper into the unexplored, yes, into and beyond the beyond, until finally you will come to the gateway that leads into the unknown country.